Hey, what's up, listener? Thank you for pressing play. This week on the Jock and Nerd podcast, Netflix cancels Iron Fist, while season 3 of Daredevil promises to be the best Marvel show yet.
Wowie zowie!
We got new details on Jon Favreau's streaming Star Wars show, and NASA sees Godzilla in space.
Geekerific!
Plus, our review of the pilot episode of Titans on the DC Universe app, and a whole bunch more, all in this edition of the Jock and Nerd Weekly for Thursday, October 18th, 2018.
Check. Check one. All right. This is for all you fans out there. Let's give it up.
Be jockin', be nerdin'. Be funny, disturbing. Be jockin', be nerdin'. Be spoiler alert. Oh yeah! Be jockin', be nerdin'. Be funny, disturbing. Oh yeah! Be jockin', be nerdin'. Be spoiler alert. You know what's up. Jockin', be nerdin'.
Hey, what's up, listener? Hello, how are you? Thanks for joining us. Welcome to the Jock and Nerd podcast, where we give you comic book and superhero, TV and movie news, reviews, and whatever we choose. Jock and Nerd. I don't know why I said it like that. My name is Imran.
My name's Anthony.
He's the Jock.
He's a nerd.
And he's the Rug Boy. What's up, Mr. Bambino? How's it hanging?
It's hanging a little bit counterclockwise.
Counterclockwise. That
figure that one
sounds painful. Because the toilets flush the other way, carry the one. I don't know. Sounds painful.
I'm peeing out my butthole. I don't know.
I see. Yikes. I would have that looked at if you are a new listener. Thanks for checking us out. Make sure you visit our website. You can follow along with the show notes to this very episode at jockandnerd.com/244, where there'll be links to all the news bits we talk about, links to how to get in touch with the show, time code of segments if you want to jump around, just skip things, and a bunch of other fun stuff. Before we get to the news, I got to say shout out to our Canadian listeners. Happy 420 all the time, Canada.
Oh, shit.
Canada becomes the first world's wealthy economy to fully decriminalize, legalize marijuana. That's amazing.
Canadians are socialist.
Dude, Canadians are blazing and having a good time right now. I can't wait to
Imran's
visit.
looking for tickets and real estate right now.
My passport is up to date. This is why I kept my passport up to date. I just saw an article on Vice that said the stores ran out of all the weed on the first day because the Canadians are oh my God. Everyone, just imagine right now, everyone is just blazed and drinking Tim Hortons coffee, watching hockey. It's great.
You think they're drinking coffee when they're smoking weed?
Well, look, because you don't want to get too drunk and smoke weed. Like that'll really fuck
I would just smoke
yourself
weed.
up.
Don't cross the streams.
Don't cross the streams. But coffee and weed, that's a nice combo.
A little caffeine, a little upper, a little downer.
You don't know which way, if I'm coming or going. Good work, Canada. I will be visiting the North shortly. Look, we got Adam Morris.
Finally a reason.
Finally,
He won't be
reason to
visiting.
care about Canada.
finally, Canada
He
becomes
won't be visiting. There's
relevant.
places in the U.S. that
Just
he could have gone
legalize
to.
prostitution and watch everybody.
He's a goddamn
America
liar.
go.
There's been places in the U.S. that you could have gone to earlier.
No,
and you haven't.
that is true. But what makes it unique is that it's nationwide. It's at their federal level,
Yeah,
which
you
I
have
need
to,
something to happen like that here.
You have to go somewhere to be where weed is. You can't
Right.
just be where you already are.
Right.
And you have to uproot your whole life just so you can smoke weed.
Yeah.
It's not cool.
Canada,
There's people who are already living there. They're so lucky, and you fucking hate them because they're not you.
no, but
you
know what?
fucks have it.
Canada deserves it. It's so fucking cold and boring up there. They need something to do.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
You've been to Canada?
I've been to Windsor and Montreal, Toronto.
I heard Montreal's fun.
Toronto's
a great city.
Toronto's got a great nightlife and a great strip there. And I think that's
Toronto's
it.
a very international city.
I've
heard.
I wanted to go to Vancouver, but I've not been there. But the stuff straight up north of us, you could get there real quick. I don't know if they're going to let you back in the country now these days. That's the only thing.
What are you talking about?
Well, there's
You
this,
have a you're a citizen. Of course, they're letting you back.
there's this thing I started reading about is people trying to come in from Canada into the country. Well, this is more for Canadians. If they say they have weed stock or they have any association with the marijuana industry, the one dude got banned from America.
Oh, shit.
He's like, yeah, I have some weed stock, and they fucking banned him. So Canadians.
Where did you read that?
Online.
Hightimes.com.
It was
Alex
It
Jones?
was Alex Jones / High Times collaboration. I'm just saying, Canadians, when they ask you that question at the border, say, nope, I don't know what you're talking about.
Don't listen to this man.
You'll be fine.
He's just reading things that he read on the internet.
Questionable information.
Okay, time for me to read more information off the internet. Let's get to the news, you bastards.
The Jock and Nerd Podcast.
We'll fly through a lot of these. Not a lot of huge things going on in the geek world, but we got to start with the fact that just a month after Netflix drops the second season of Marvel's Iron Fist, which I think everyone agreed was far better than the first season, left us on a crazy cliffhanger. A month hasn't passed. They have canceled the show.
Yeah, but it's like kind of like a weird cancellation.
It is a weird cancellation. They said the characters will live on, but it's the first Marvel show to get canceled, first of all. And, we've all talked about how the quality's been declining ever since Daredevil season 1 of these shows. And Netflix has data. This is a Netflix decision, even though it's a collaboration between Disney
What
and
do
Marvel.
you think they mean when they say that Iron Fist will go on, like Celine Dion's heart?
I think he will. His heart will go on. I mean, easy. He can. All these characters, the supporting characters, can show up in all the other shows. They can spin off a Heroes for Hire.
You're ignoring the obvious.
Oh, which is
When Disney has their own platform, even Henwick, I think, alluded to it.
She
think they
did.
can
She
go-
did say
yeah.
something about that. Yeah. So that's the other thing is they can just light it back
Why
up.
do you think they did? But why would they use Iron Fist?
Because I don't know.
Well, I got it.
Yeah.
Well, this is my thought on
Yeah.
it because this surprised me too. I was like, why'd they cancel that? Like,
Yeah.
I don't know if it's necessarily hurting Netflix. I think there's two things. I think Netflix has a quality content thing that they want to portray.
Yeah.
And that Iron Fist, although better than the first season, is still not great. And I think a lot of that too is if it's not great, there's really not an audience for it. Like Daredevil's Daredevil.
Yeah.
That's the name, that's the brand that started all of this. Everyone knows who Daredevil is. Jessica Jones has, the female kind of tie to it. The allegories to rape and trauma and family issues and addiction. And then Luke Cage has obviously got the, Harlem and the music and all that stuff. What does Iron Fist really hang its
It
hat
had
on?
nothing.
We talked about this before this came out. Like we were expecting an awesome martial arts show.
And if it was
it's not
that would have been something. But it gives us absolutely nothing. Clearly, look, Netflix, they have numbers. They have data we don't know about. And they've looked at the data and they're like, nah, we're cutting this.
Because the thing is, I read this article and it's like, it's not like they're like canceling all the stuff because it's all going to move to Disney. They already ordered a season 3 of Jessica Jones and Luke Cage. So they're cool with that shit. The numbers must not be good on this stuff.
The numbers weren't what I read. So Ted Sarandos, the programming guy.
So you think this was like a Netflix decision and Marvel's going to capitalize on it?
Oh, I don't know if Marvel will put it, all this stuff's eventually moving to the Disney thing anyways, but I think Netflix was like, this show kind of sucks. No one watches this. We're done with it.
I think from what I understand in this one article is while they don't have any say in what new Marvel shows that are going to come to Netflix, they have full say in which of the existing shows they can continue, make more seasons or not. So I read this article.
Who's they? Netflix?
Netflix, yes, because it's that these shows already existed, so they can kill or continue these shows. And I read somewhere that the first season of Iron Fist, the first episode had huge ratings. Remember, like everyone was binging it right away. I think it was because the lead in was Luke Cage, and they were marketing it as the Last Defender. And so if people want to watch the Defenders, which was the team up, they were going to come watch this.
So it was 2 letdowns in a row.
After 2
Iron Fist
letdowns,
and Defender.
Yep, 2
Yeah.
letdowns in a row, and then nobody came back for Iron Fist, even though it was much improved. Ruggs, we didn't really get your full thoughts because you weren't on the review. You said it was better than the first season, but my question was it good enough? Clearly it wasn't for Netflix. Do you think it was good enough?
No.
No.
I mean, I thought, look, the story was a lot cleaner and a lot more streamlined. There wasn't any ridiculous stuff with the father.
Right, and the
first
boardroom
season
shit. Yeah.
was so terrible.
Yeah,
That
yeah.
character was just dog shit.
Yeah.
And they meandered a lot in the beginning, and this one was more like it just didn't have a good enough end. Like the ending was a little a bit of a letdown. And you take the hero out for like, you break his leg and then you have him like train for half, in the middle.
Yeah,
so it's like
it just slows everything
it had
down.
Like it had a weird trajectory, but it was story wise cleaner and more concise and, kind of more satisfying because you can they could really delve into the characters more. They could delve into Davos. They could delve into the relationships between all the characters a little bit better. It had more meat to it.
I thought the supporting cast was great. Finn Jones is the worst fucking actor on that show.
True, but at least it wasn't as convoluted and just tonally all over the place as the first one.
It was still
I agree with
boring
that.
and seemed too long, even at 10 episodes. Parts of it.
The fight scenes were not enough.
Yeah.
The ending wasn't as big as it should have been, and
Yeah.
it wasn't. You didn't come off with this. But was it a terrible season? No, I think it was far better than the first one. Far, far better.
I think the problem with Iron Fist, if we're going to analyze 2 seasons of it, is, again, I alluded to, what the hooks are. There's just no hook.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, it's just another white guy doing karate in Brooklyn or in New York. And it's done better with Daredevil.
Mm.
And they're not leaning enough into the weirdness of, Kunlun or him being fucking make him a fucking stoner. Do something.
Yeah, they didn't do what they did in Luke Cage.
They did a little bit of it, but they didn't do enough where it's this guy is his own guy. You're just this is a shitty actor doing his best Daredevil impersonation.
It's just generic.
It's very milquetoast.
Yeah, it's very generic and there's no tooth to it.
Oh, and you got to throw in the fact that we're in a time now where people are highly critical of a white savior, and he's kind of a white savior.
Yeah, he's the whitest savior you can fucking
They
find.
should have. Well, they tried to rectify that at the end of this by giving
it to her.
the fist to
Colleen,
somebody else.
Yeah.
I think they were trying to do that.
Yeah,
but,
I agree.
I don't know. If,
but they left us
obviously, that didn't do enough to
But
save
what
the
happens
show.
with this cliffhanger where they left the show? I
they
think
can always
we agreed
resume
on her.
it on
We
the
thought it
Disney
was
one.
really interesting where they left it. I thought it was really interesting. Colleen has the fist, but then Danny and Ward are looking for Orson Randall, whatever his name is.
Doesn't Danny also have the fist?
And he has 2 Iron Fists. He gets it back. He has the dude's guns, the World War I Iron Fist guns, and he does the thing with the bullet at the very Orson Randall.
Yeah.
So
Randall
all of
Orson,
that
whatever.
at the very end, I was like, "Holy shit! This is suddenly what's going on here. This is interesting." I kind of wanted a season 3. We're not going to get it, but they can't continue.
They just didn't have Finn Jones was not great, and
No,
and they don't have a hooked villain either. Jessica Jones and Daredevil both had their awesome villains.
Yeah,
They just
no
they
good
there's
bad
no
guys.
hook.
There's nothing. So
The best part of that show is Jessica Henwick, but
yeah,
a
Colleen's
little
great.
too
Well,
little, too late.
you spin off a Heroes for Hire show where you have the Daughters of the Dragon in there. So you got Luke and Danny and Colleen and Misty Knight. Claire Temple already said she's out. She's done with these shows. Here's the thing. Can they bring it back around? Listener, while when this show posts, Daredevil season 3 will be fucking out. And
I mean,
holy shit, it sounds amazing.
I think that, to be honest with you, the only show that I'm looking forward to is Daredevil and possibly Punisher.
Yeah.
Jessica Jones already gave us the first season was really hard to top.
I don't know how you top that first season.
And I
Kilgrave.
don't think you can.
Yeah.
So that's done. The novelty of her is over pretty much.
Yeah.
She doesn't have a lot of material to fall back on.
Mm-hmm.
She doesn't have a lot of visual stuff to fall back on either. She's not her powers aren't. There's no effects. There's no nothing that's really jaw dropping visually. So it's all about the character and how interesting the character is. And I think that there's not enough to fall back on. If you're not going to use they can't use Alias. They can't use all that shit that they've done because that's all central to the Marvel Universe and intertwined with superheroes and stuff that she can't get into. So they have to use something else, right? So they don't have a lot of material to fall back on. Luke Cage is interesting. That last one, I think that's going to be hard for them to top the last season.
Yeah.
Because, they're going to make him bad. I don't know, whatever. The only thing that I would watch with Luke Cage is him doing superhero stuff. I don't really care that he's the savior of Harlem.
He's running crime in Harlem. I think Misty even says that in
I
Iron
want to
Fist.
see him be a superhero and fight bad guys.
Yeah,
I don't know.
That had a crazy.
I just want to see a
ending.
superhero show.
And well,
You know?
Daredevil season 3 may be the superhero show.
I mean, as bad as like the CW shows are, they fight bad guys.
Yeah.
They do shit. Things happen. On the Marvel shows, nothing happens.
No, and they've all started to kind of feel very similar in tone, and it's the same. Everyone is super serious. The guy loses his powers, comes back. And I feel like this Daredevil season 3 is kind of doing that too, where Matt's hung up the suit. But look, there's this really awesome interview on Vice with the new showrunner, Eric Olson. I will put a link to this in the show notes. I love everything this guy is saying. He is a huge fan of the material. He's heard the criticisms from the fans. He knows what he wants to do. He is saying he wants this to be between the first season of Daredevil and The Sopranos. He's talking about this amazing one-shot fight scene they're going to have in the episode. Everything in here got me so psyched for season 3, and it's saying it's the best. Most of these early reviews are saying the best Marvel show yet.
I hope it is.
Better
I'm excited for it.
Yeah, I'm super excited.
Pumped.
That's tomorrow.
I'm pumped.
It's tomorrow for us. For the listener, it is already out. You may have watched some of it. You may have watched all of it. If you've watched any of it, you want to leave us your early thoughts, here's what you do. Join our awesome Facebook group called the Jock and Nerd Nation. It's an exclusive closed group just for our listeners. Visit jockandnerd.com/contact for all the ways to get in touch and a link to the group. I'll try to throw up a spoiler thread so people can start talking about Daredevil season 3. Did you guys even hear about like what they're doing with Bullseye? This part I thought was really interesting.
I know exactly what they're doing.
What are they doing?
They're gonna do the thing where. Do you want to know?
Well, there's a trailer with it.
It's in the trailer. They're basically taking Wilson Phillips is going
Beach
to
Boys. What?
Is going to sing a song, and then after that, Wilson Fisk
We'll sing
is going
Despacito.
to try and frame Daredevil by using Bullseye dressed up as Daredevil doing crazy shit.
Well, yes, that part I know, but the origin there, I don't think Bullseye's ever been
No,
given
they've
a
always
true
messed with
origin.
his
And
in the comics.
this version is an FBI agent who gets kind of caught in between Daredevil and Wilson Fisk. And I love that dynamic to see a former FBI agent crack and become Bullseye. Sounds fucking exciting.
That's what's interesting.
I think that's interesting. It's different than fucking just a random crazy Irish Colin Farrell throwing paper clips at people's necks.
Staring at you weird.
Staring at you weird and riding a motorcycle by standing on it.
That movie is so terrible, but I enjoyed it when I saw it.
That's a strange movie. I also enjoyed that movie when I saw it.
Because I like that scene where Daredevil's in the bar and he kicks everybody's ass. He beat up like 20 guys.
That was fantastic.
Yeah, I like that.
We have a great What the Fuck episode. I'm
was
sure
all CG,
everyone's
though, I
heard
think,
it.
most of it.
Bad Fleck. Before Bad Fleck, let's check in on the Venom box office, people. This movie is still a movie. It's still out there. People are still going to see it. It is now made domestically $150 million. Worldwide, it's sitting at $387 million on a $100 million budget. And it's only been out for 2 weeks. It was number 1 2 weeks in a row. Venom and Star is Born 1 and 2.
So that's pretty profitable.
Yeah,
2 weekends. Expect a lot more shitty Sony Marvel movies, people. They're coming.
Who would have known that this movie would make money?
They're coming. They're even
I
projecting.
expected it to fucking just flop huge.
Well, here's the thing. It hasn't even opened in China yet. It's opening in China in November. So they're projecting it to beat Justice League and Logan's worldwide total
What does this tell you about
at the
world?
box office. People, look at how much money the first Jurassic World made, man. It's the same fucking thing.
I mean, we got Imran giving it a 7 out of 10.
I gave it a 6.5.
Yeah, son of a bitch.
So easily at this pace, this thing could get 550 million worldwide, 600. Logan was 619, Justice League 657. It could pass both of these. It has, like I said, it has not opened in China. So there's another at least 100, 150, 200 million right there. Chinese box.
All right, well, get ready to see more shitty Venom aliens.
What's in the Chinese box? Get ready for Morbius and Craven.
That's funny. That made me laugh.
What's in the Chinese? You want fortune cookie? Okay, let's move on to some MCU news. This is a weird world we're living in. We all know that. James Gunn is writing and directing Suicide Squad.
And it's fine.
Bill Cosby's
No
in
problem.
jail.
That's good.
Isn't that weird? Like, we live in a world where the Cos is in fucking jail, eating Jell-O pudding. taking
Well, he's a
Kodak.
scumbag. He should have gotten busted years ago,
He
but
shoulda.
no one said anything.
No, he said anything. He got by, catches up with him. And we are living in a world where Marvel is going to change the 40-year-old origin history of Captain Marvel, Carol Danvers, ahead of this movie coming out. Is that surprising to anyone? First of
No,
all,
not surprised. Hey, listen, if you saw my essay on Comicsgate,
Yes.
you know that this is what they're going to do, regardless of what anybody thinks.
So, in 1977, the origin was Carol Danvers gets her superpowers through exposure to an alien device known as the Psyche Magnetron in an accident related to her origin story. And that brings in Marvel, I guess. This comic, in the new comic, it's called Life of Captain Marvel series by Margaret Stoll, Carlos Pacheco, and Erica D'Urso. They reveal that Carol's mother is, in fact, a member of the alien race of Kree, making Carol a Kree-human hybrid from birth, as opposed to the result of an accident. So the Psyche Magnetron, instead of altering her DNA, activates Carol's inherent superpowers.
Oh, what the fuck? That's way different.
Yeah, and it's kind of like the Inhumans. So, and they've changed their names. They've retconned Mary Danvers' name into Mari L, turning Carol Danvers into Kar-El, like Marvel, which is also very close to Supergirl's. Carvel. And then their uncle, there's their crazy Marvel Uncle Carvel. Shit, Uncle Carvel's coming over. Everybody hide your fucking money.
Carl.
So obviously they're going to this is probably something to do with this new movie where they're going to introduce her mother and then she's half and they're changing the origin.
Whoa, that's really different.
But 40 years. They haven't touched this origin in 40 years until now. I thought that's a very interesting
Well, they're going
move.
to do it. I told you they're going to do it.
This is what, Hashtag Comicsgate, I guess, hey? I don't know.
No.
That's what, no?
It's just, this is what Marvel is going to do now that they're mainstream. They're all that shit that existed that got them here. That's all like that's completely bendable and malleable now. It's like it's not sacred.
It's all about the retcon. It's all about bringing the movie audience.
All about bringing it to the new fans.
The new fans, yes. Testing
that's what's
things
going
out.
to set the standard.
Yeah. So do they care about the old fans?
I don't know. When we talk about Titans, you're going to see how it becomes a problem.
Okay, because that is also quite the change.
Well, I mean, they're doing this so that she's not her
tied to a guy.
Yeah, right. She's
tied to a guy.
Tied to someone else. It's
because traditionally,
it's, you know, the mom and her have a little agency in this.
They're the divine source. No men are involved in the divinity of this.
Which makes you wonder, which we've already questioned, Jude Law. I don't think he's playing Marvel.
Is he Marvel? They might not be because the Marvel in this case.
Or he might be Marvel and then he like changes and he's the bad guy.
Or he's like the lead Skrull.
Well, who knows, maybe.
Who's in disguise as Marvel.
I wish they weren't going Kar-El.
Kar-El and...
It's too close to Kal-El.
Right. Kal-El of Superman and Kara
Maybe
Danvers
she's Kara-El.
Yeah, Kara-El, like Supergirl.
Is that Supergirl?
Kara-El. Kara, I don't know.
Kal?
Cool. Yes, so she doesn't need a man to become Captain Marvel. Great.
Right,
She's
fine.
got more,
That's fine with me.
more urgency. Great.
I just don't care enough
wonderful.
about
I don't give a
Captain
fuck.
America,
Right.
Yeah.
Just tell a good story. That's
I don't give a
all
fuck.
I'm hoping for. A couple of movies getting pushed back. I just mentioned James Gunn writing Suicide Squad, famously fired off Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. The production of this movie reportedly delayed until 2021. So basically, MCU fan, do not expect a third Guardians of the Galaxy movie for 5 years, until like 2022.
All right.
It's not happening.
Good.
So, but that's what we said. They need time. They needed to sit. And then, related note, I saw this other article with Guardians of the Galaxy on hold. Dave Bautista reportedly lining up a WWE return. Anthony, is this huge comment? Do you know anything about this?
Why are you asking me this?
I don't know.
You think
I get
because I watch
confused with
UFC?
UFC.
That I'm a big WWE fan.
You don't follow anything? You don't got 1 year in the WWE world?
I mean, I kind of like have a periphery of it, but no, I mean he was a big star for them. That's where he made his he got.
Come
that's
on,
how
you
he
like
got
guys with big
famous.
pecs?
He's got a
I
big
got-
chest.
I got nice
Would this give the smart marks a geek boner?
Geek boner.
I don't know. No, that's the smart marks. They don't like big guys anymore. They like the little guy.
Ooh,
The smarks.
they like the twinks.
They like the twinks. The bears are out of fashion. Twinks and hipsters are in. Duly done.
Alrighty then.
Well,
Yeah.
Guardians 3 not till 20. Wow, that's
Yeah,
interesting.
so they're not going to start production until 2021.
So they
and-
pushed that back.
Yeah. It's going to be late 2022, so...
Well, they got this makes sense because they got to restructure and do all.
I tell you what's going to happen right now in Avengers 4. Like, Drax is going to come back to life, and then he's going to get killed, and that's the end of that. And they'll just fucking have a new Guardians team 5 years later. I'm pretty sure Drax is not making out of this fucking next Avengers movie.
Really?
That's fine.
I don't think so. I think
Dude,
it'll be
they do not like all the fucking shit he's saying, and just, how vocal
well,
he's
dude,
been.
he wants out. He obviously does not agree with.
Yeah.
He doesn't
I
want
don't
to work
think
for them.
I don't think he'd
I
mind.
respect that. He doesn't
Yeah.
want to do it. So
No.
fuck it. Fuck it. Then you can't. He doesn't want to be in this movie. They shouldn't force him to. They could replace him. They could do a million other things, but he doesn't have to do it.
I mean, he was there for reshoots earlier a few months ago.
He kind of
so.
has to do it.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
contract.
Well, if he's obligated to be in the movie, yes.
So he may be obligated to do volume 3.
He's
too.
definitely trying to get out.
Yes, he is. All I got to do to get into that
What else
Suicide
do I have
Squad
to do?
movie
Yeah.
as Bane. Another movie that's been delayed, also eyeing a 2021 release, is the Flash standalone movie. Holy shit. This is the slowest Flash ever. It's not. This is one of those things where I don't
I
believe
hope it never comes out.
I just think it's hilarious how
I
many
don't even want to
times
see it.
this movie's gone through 3 directors. I don't think it has a director, or it has the guys who wrote John Francis Daley and Jonathan Goldstein, who wrote Spider-Man Homecoming, are going to direct. But they've gone through multiple directors. It's been supposed to come out like 2 years ago. Again, though, DC is pushing these standalone movies. If they have success with Shazam, Aquaman, Wonder Woman, they're going to do Birds of Prey. Maybe they push Flash forward, but I don't think it's happening. Anyways, don't hold your breath, everyone.
I'll believe this movie comes out when I see it. They're fucking like 1 to 2 movies at a time. They can't plan shit.
No,
more than
and when they
that.
do, it all falls apart and they change everything.
And if people don't like it, they'll fucking change it and react knee-jerk reaction and change everything. So like, who knows, man?
The worst Flash ever. Also, related note, if you're planning a vacation to China in December, I would go 2 weeks before Aquaman hits here in the U.S. because it will open in China first 2 weeks before.
That's why you would recommend
That
going
was
to
the
China.
only reason I recommend going to China in December, because you have the privilege of
You
watching.
don't care about the Great Wall.
I mean, it's a pretty big wall. Yeah.
That's
Great.
Really that is really marginalizing.
Is it,
China.
I mean, is it great? I mean, it's great. Like, what's
Go
great?
see Aquaman. Maybe you can see it on
Oh,
the
here's
plane
the 2
there.
reasons you should go to China. Great Wall, seeing Aquaman, or
And Mushu Park, which isn't even a thing there.
He goes. That's the only
It's the
reason to go to.
birthplace of ninjas. No,
Go to
it's-
China
ninja-
in
are
this
ninjas
time of year.
Japanese? No,
No,
they are.
ninjas are Japanese.
No, ninjas are
Samurai, that's also Japanese.
That's-
Kung Fu.
Oh, you
Kung
can go to
Fu
the
is-
Kung Fu Hall of Fame.
Karate is technically originated in China too, because it's all off of Kung Fu.
So those, there you go.
Really?
Yes.
Well, I don't know.
It's all related.
No.
You know what? Fuck all that.
Told that that's not true.
Go see Aquaman.
Maybe you're the authority on this. So I'll believe you.
Really, we have a dispute on the origination of Kung Fu.
I don't know.
It's very
I
interesting.
don't know.
I believe that is the case. That Kung Fu is the original, and then karate deviated off of that.
Oh, Kung Fu was
Oh.
first.
Yeah.
Well, we should ask Danny Rand. I bet he knows.
He doesn't.
You think
know shit.
Davos knows?
He's upstairs trying to get his chi up.
You guys keep it down. I'm trying to work my chi up, bro.
I love that. Those are the only 2 reasons to go to China.
I can't think of any others. Can you?
Have you been to China?
Nope.
Yeah.
Dude,
Yeah.
it is Singapore.
Hong Kong?
Well, Singapore's not China.
Singapore's not China. Hong Kong's pretty cool.
Isn't it located in the area of China?
I mean, it's south of. It's like, no, it's not really.
No?
It's not close. I mean, it's close. Like you could fly there, but like the border of Singapore is not China.
Oh. What about Hong
There's a
Kong?
lot of
That's not
Chinese
China
in-
either.
It's like weird China. It's like Western
It's
China.
part of China that used to be owned by the British, and it's been handed back. Ish.
What about?
Yeah.
There you
I
go.
can't do history of China.
No, we don't know anything
I mean,
about China.
I'm not. The good thing is this piqued my interest. I'm going to now research this and know the answers next time.
There you go.
Moving on, we've got some details on this Jon Favreau Star Wars TV show on the forthcoming Disney streaming app.
I've heard that the rumored name for this app.
Yes. Oh, what is it?
This is what I've heard from maybe a podcast.
bullshit.
Disney Play.
No, that's bullshit. Well,
How do you
we
know that?
talked about this on the show. How do I know it? Because it was in a Variety article where Bob Iger.
I heard it on fucking Fat Man on Batman. Your boy.
No. I'll tell you why everyone said this, because in the article, Bob Iger
Oh,
goes,
that's right. We talked about this.
this is a Disney, like he's talking about the streaming as this is a Disney Play. Like this is their move.
But
and then everyone's
I think-
like, oh, it's called Disney Play. They would
I
have
don't think that's a bad title for it.
Yeah, it's not bad. It's kind of like, doesn't there Sony Play? No, Disney Play, PlayStation.
There's already a Disney app anyway,
there is a Disney app also.
and it's free.
I think, plus, if there was an official name, I think we would have got like a fucking
Well, it's
release
not
or
coming out
something.
yet.
But it's not coming out till next year. But Favreau has dropped a pretty cool photo of this show that's being called The Mandalorian. It's
What do you
It's
guys
like
think
that's a
about this?
DeLorean with balls.
it's the Mandalorian.
What is the Mandalorian? What is the Mandalorian?
He's the woman DeLorean's husband.
Do you know about Star Wars, Anthony?
Explain the Mandalorian,
No.
Rux.
Okay, Mandalore is a warlike, almost like it's fashioned after the Spartans, I guess. A very like militaristic a people on a planet.
Yeah.
I guess of Mandalore, I guess.
Yeah.
And that's where Boba Fett comes from.
It's where the
Oh.
bounty hunters.
So that armor that he wears is Mandalorian armor.
Is this a cool idea?
It's basically like Boba Fett the show.
Well, this is
Okay.
well, it's another bounty hunter. Here's Favreau posted on his Instagram a description of what the show will be. It says, after the stories of Django and Boba Fett, another warrior emerges in the Star Wars
Django
universe.
Unchained was in the Star Wars?
Django, and yes. Did you not know that Jamie Foxx was in that movie? Django is Boba Fett's father. Django Fett,
Yeah.
the original clone.
Jango Fett.
Another warrior emerges in the Star Wars universe. The Mandalorian is set after the fall of the Empire and before the emergence of the First Order. We follow the travails of a lone gunfighter in the outer reaches of the galaxy, far from the authority of the New Republic. I love this because, first of all, this is the show he's getting $100 million to make. That's like fucking Game of Thrones money. This photo that they posted of this badass Mandalorian character, he looks sick. Ruggs, if you see this photo,
He just looks like Boba Fett.
he looks like a cool, he looks like a darker brown,
Is this the
updated.
photo in this link?
Yeah, in the article, Boba Fett. So there's your.
Yeah, I thought that was Boba Fett. You
It's
asshole.
not Boba Fett. It's the Mandalorian. It's the new Boba Fett. But here's the most exciting part. Check out the directors. Favreau is writing the first episode. He'll be serving as executive producer. But he got Dave Filoni to direct the first episode, who does Star Wars Rebels. Additional directors include Deborah Chow, who's done Jessica Jones, Rick Famuyiwa, who did Dope and was briefly going to do the Flash movie, Bryce Dallas Howard, and Taika Waititi.
Oh shit.
Directing episodes of The Mandalorian. That's what a great talent. Huge budget. I love the first photo.
Taika Waititi
Yeah.
is the biggest. I'm like, what? The way he's doing
If
that?
you want to know about Mandalorians, you watch
Clone Wars?
Star Wars, Clone Wars,
Yeah.
and Rebels. They have
And
both
Rebels.
have a feature Mandalorian characters, and they have a little bit of their world building and all that fun stuff.
So-
and it's actually pretty cool.
What do you, Ruggs, is this, I mean, I know you watch you're really into the Rebels and Clone Wars. What do you think of this after the description and the directors? Does this have promise? Will you be watching?
I think it's cool because I'm into this whole society of the Mandalorians and that they're very like militaristic and there's like a lot of competition and it's very kind of feudal in a way.
There's a code they follow. Yeah, it's very like samurai. Yeah, that would be cool. Dude, with $100 million, like if you're spending $10 million an episode, I think this will be in Jon Favreau's hands. I think it'll be very
It
good.
could be like a space western.
Yeah, looks like,
Like a samurai western. Because there is a Mandalorian sword.
oh.
It's like the black sword. It's made out of black light, if you can even believe.
Is that like a black lightsaber?
Yeah,
Whoa.
but it looks like a katana.
Whoa, that's cool.
And when you wield it,
Yeah.
it like makes like almost like streaks like Tron.
Oh, it leaves little light rays.
Yes.
Is this in a video game or where does this exist?
You can see, look up Mandalorian Blade, and you'll see it on
Okay.
YouTube.
Okay.
I don't know if he's going to have the Darksaber.
The Darksaber is the opposite of the lightsaber. I didn't know that existed. That's pretty
Now you
crazy.
know.
Okay, more TV news. One of my favorite shows, Black Mirror. It's coming back. Season 5. We have a release date. It will be released in December. So later this year, the last season was also released in December. They are going to have a choose your own adventure story
Geek Boner.
in this season where the fans, you will get to interact with the story and make decisions, which I don't know how this is going to work, but it sounds fucking awesome. Do you guys ever read those choose your own adventure books when you were a kid?
I loved those
Weren't
books.
those
as a
great?
kid. Those books creeped me the
Go
fuck
to
out.
page 19.
Yes, if you want to, if you don't want to, go to page 12. That and Encyclopedia Brown were my fucking favorite books to read because that also would leave with a mystery and then you'd have to like figure it out on your own.
Did you ever die reading your choose your
Oh,
adventure?
yeah.
You could die in
Oh, yeah.
those?
You could die.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, you could be like, you come upon a Yeti. Do you want to throw a rock at his face?
Go
Turn to page 19 if you want to throw a rock at
to
his face.
page 12.
You've enraged the Yeti. He slowly starts eating your feet and then vomits your feet into your face, and then you die a horrible death in your own bile.
That's pretty sad that you died a choose your own adventure book.
You could
Yeti
die
bile.
in the choose your own adventure.
Oh
Definitely.
man, I forgot about that because they were different genres, right? Some were fantasy,
I would do the scary one.
and then there was the horror ones, and like every genre had those were fucking great.
I did Leisure Shoot Larry once.
Leisure Suit Larry was also a great choose your own adventure. That's an adult video game, Anthony,
Yes.
from back in the day.
A what?
It's an adult video game.
Leisure Suit Larry?
Leisure
Yeah.
Suit Larry was like an R-rated, X-rated video game. It had boobies and had a
And
fucking
you get to choose your own
it
adventure.
was choose your own adventure. It had a scumbag named Larry, like a strip club. I don't remember
Well,
what it was about.
anyone named Larry is a scumbag.
Yeah, automatically.
That's for
You're like,
sure.
Larry, you must be a douchebag. All right. But
Yeah.
how do you do a choose your own adventure in a TV show? I don't think has anybody ever tried this? I can't think of anything.
Well, you do it with your little remote controlly.
Right. So then like little buttons would come up and it would be like, which way do you want to go? And then it would just
Yeah.
take you to that cut.
Oh, is that real? That
Because
how
you have a
in
remote
depth
on
they're
your
gonna do it?
Netflix.
We don't know. Nobody knows, but I would imagine
I thought it was going to be in storyline choose your own adventure, like the character in the thing is
no,
like choosing their own.
the watcher, the viewer
Oh, that's great.
gets to pick which decision to make.
Let me apologize to the listeners real quick.
Yeah, you might as well preemptively for past, future things.
Yeah, well,
Doesn't
yes.
matter.
We were supposed to do a Black Mirror episode review like for a while, like where we did one and we were supposed to continually do that as I watched Black Mirror. Yeah, I stopped that.
So
I didn't watch
I would
any Black
still
Mirror after one
like
episode.
to revisit, but we'll just pick like the best episodes for you to watch. Can we do that?
Maybe.
So it's not like you don't got to watch all of it.
I didn't like the first episode.
But the first episode was maybe not the best place to start.
That's the worst one.
It was my fault. I'll take complete blame. Give me a second chance to turn you on to this show because it's fucking great.
You
Maybe.
gotta watch the one where he can rewind everything and catch his wife cheating on him.
That one's great. I think from the last season, the USS McAllister Star Trek one, I think that's a great
That's
one.
a great one too.
That's a great one to start with. So, Anthony, think about it. If you can
All right, I'll
find it
think
in your
about it.
heart to try again, I'm telling you, the show is fucking great, and stuff that's in the show is becoming real because that's how weird the world is that fucking sci-fi is becoming real. And
You're real.
I'm real. I'm real hairy. So, anyways, that's Black Mirror.
Only in the butthole. From my experience. Wowie zowie.
Harry.
I'm real hairy. So, look, Black Mirror fans, this December, this Christmas, we're going to get a whole new season. That's awesome. Finally, last thing in the news, Godzilla. You guys are going to love this Godzilla news. Guess what? NASA has given Godzilla an official constellation.
Geek Boner.
Where is it? Can I see it?
Well,
what does it look
it's
like?
a gamma ray constellation.
Ooh, it's green.
So it's not your typical gamma constellation. These gamma ray constellation is they're jets
Is
that
there a picture of it where I can see
that
Godzilla?
shoot out. Well, click this link. There's a shitty Godzilla drawing in the sky, so there's no
Yeah,
actual.
that looks fucking
Yeah,
terrible.
there's no actual picture. But NASA has given Godzilla an official constellation because the gamma ray jets that occur when a massive star blows out, collapses, or when a black hole is being formed looks like Godzilla's heat ray. And apparently these NASA guys are big nerds because they've also given gamma ray constellations to the TARDIS from Doctor Who, Starship Enterprise, and the Hulk. So they're big geeks. But now these giant explosions, these gamma ray bursts, are the most powerful explosions in the cosmos, and now they're named after Godzilla.
Okay.
I got nothing for that.
Science.
I mean,
Godzilla.
it really has nothing to do with Godzilla, other than the fact the guy's nerdy who named it.
They're a bunch of big nerds at NASA. All right.
So now there's proof that there's nerds at NASA.
Great.
Whoop-de-doo!
And with that, we're going to take a quick break, play some promos, and we'll be back with our thoughts on Titans on the DC Universe streaming app right after this.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
Forgive the interruption, but I believe this requires your attention.
If you ever believed Captain America was on the U.S. Olympic soccer team,
if you ever thought that the Winter Soldier was that brace yourselves guy on the internet,
and if you ever wondered just what would a raccoon do with a machine gun,
then don't let another week pass you by without tuning into
Mighty Marvel Geeks.
Mighty Marvel Geeks is your show about all things Marvel.
With news, rumors, commentary, and interviews.
As well as our weekly recommendations on what to pick up on New Comic Book Day.
Official consulting hours are between 8 and 5 every other Thursday.
That's Mighty Marvel Geeks on WeebyGeeks.net, iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play, and anywhere else you listen to podcasts.
Hey everybody, this is Victoria, your dog guru, and I want to answer all of your canine conundrums, from your puppy questions to your daring dog disasters. I am here to help you restore peace in your home. In every single episode of Ask Your Dog Guru, we will answer questions from listeners, we'll offer training tips and tricks, and we'll give you advice on all things dog. Not to mention, we have some pretty cool guests. Ask Your Dog Guru can be found on all your favorite podcast apps, iTunes, and of course on Blazing Caribou Studios. So go fetch Fido, grab a warm seat on the couch, and listen to Ask Your Dog Guru. Namaste.
Doc and Nerd.
Listener, if you have been enjoying the show and you want more show, I'll tell you where you can get it at our fan club at Patreon. Visit jockandnerd.com/Patreon, where you can donate a little as $1 a month. Helps us out, cover the overhead and the expenses of bringing you this semi-good quality geek content every week. And you will get bonus content, a whole RSS feed full of stuff. Thank you. We got another new patron this week, fellas. Thank you, Trevor Lloyd, coming in at the I'm Pumped tier.
I'm pumped.
Yeah, me too.
Was that $1?
That's the $1. That is the entry tier. Look, you got to get him somewhere. We move him up the funnel.
That's the gateway drug.
That is the gateway drug. And as you will see, the more you give, the more stuff you get. Also, last week we said thank you to Tom Walters, who was another new patron at that tier. And I said thank you to him on Patreon, and he wrote back something really nice. I wanted to share. Tom said, share. Sorry, I wanted to share by saying out loud words with my mouth. Tom Walters.
That hole in your fucking face.
I'm trying to blow air out at certain frequencies. Tom says, I said, thank you. Tom said, you guys are so welcome. You three are an absolute trip. You make my drive to see my dad so enjoyable. Every Sunday, I crank it up as I get ready to hit the road. Thanks for the laughs. Peace. Tom. Talking nerd. Thank you, Tom. It's a lot of pressure.
Hey, thanks, Tom.
It's a lot of pressure.
We'll try to keep you laughing as you see your
He's on his way to his dad. We got to make him laugh. Say something funny, Ruggs, right now. Say it.
I don't know. That's a big fuck up right there.
That's good. Penis is always
say
funny.
Something funny right now.
You just got to say something.
1, 2, 3, penis.
You got to say something with a K. Hard K sounds are funny.
Like what, cock?
Fakafta.
Oh.
I don't know. So right now, Trevor Lloyd.
That got me.
I got him laugh. All right. I hope Tom didn't drive off the road.
Hard K's.
Hard K's.
Hard K's.
Listen, that's the rule.
I was wondering where he was going.
It's a rule of comedy. Hard K's are always funny. Krusty the Clown taught me that on The Simpsons. You learn a lot. So listen, Trevor, Tom, thank you to everyone who supports us. And right now, listener, they are enjoying bonus content such as a new episode of Jock Talk with our boy Chaz.
Hey, shut the fuck up. I'm doing something.
What are you guys talking about in Jock Talk, Anthony? Real quick.
We did some what did we do? NBA.
Yeah.
We did a little college football, a little NFL. think we might have done UFC. I don't know.
There we go. Look, we got
My balls was hot.
my balls.
Something.
My balls was hot.
We got something for everyone, listener.
We did something. I got to admit, and Chaz kind of pointed out to me prior to the show. He's like, "Are you just tired?" I was a little drunk recording that episode, so I don't really remember.
My balls was hot.
Your balls were hot. That's all it was. But
I had a little bit too much to drink.
dude,
after.
more exciting than that, listener, we have up right now our first official Patreon-only movie review sponsored by listener and fan club member Matthew Lawrence.
Geek Boner.
If you want to hear us talk about The Greatest Showman, the movie musical starring Hugh Jackman, Michelle Williams, Zac Efron, Zendaya, sign up today. Anthony the Jock watched a fucking movie musical. I'm so proud of you, Anthony. He's a big boy. You've grown up.
Broadening my horizons.
Yeah, thank you, Matthew Lawrence, for that pick. Again, sign up for the Patreon, $10 a month. You can force Anthony to watch any movie you want and record a review on it.
For the listeners out there, I told you we would start getting to these reviews. So
damn straight. And we're going to keep them coming. So jockandnerd.com/Patreon. Let's get to Titans. Here's your spoiler.
Strap yourselves in, you fucks. Spoiler time.
All right, we paid for this DC Universe app got for 3 months free, so we have it for 15 months. There hasn't been a lot. There's been old content on there, comic books. They have a daily show. They have the Supergirl movie and the shitty Birds of Prey show, and there was a Superboy show from the 80s that I didn't even know.
It's really bad, Imran.
They got Batman Brave and the Bold, which I love, but we have...
That's it. That's all.
And the Batman...
The Justice League, right?
They have Justice League and Justice League.
Cool.
Yeah, they got the cool stuff.
But, okay, Imran, shut up. Stop sucking his dick.
We had all this on Netflix and Hulu a while ago.
Let's review DC Universe. Just a real quick thought on DC, the app right now. It's not much.
Not a lot.
I don't see why you're paying.
I wouldn't.
$8 for this.
And they're
or whatever
stringing you along with Titans once a week, so you have to keep paying the $7 a month for this one fucking show.
You gotta be a huge DC homer to be paying for this.
Yeah.
'Cause they're not even giving, like, the thing is they could point to maybe like the literature on there, but they're not even giving you all that either.
And it goes away.
Yeah,
the comic books
It
get shuffled around.
forever. They curate what you're gonna be able to
You
read.
can't just get anything you want whenever you want.
No.
Listen, this thing just fucking launched. You gotta give them some time.
Yeah, but come on. It's not like they're doing it in the vacuum and they're the first people out there. They're like 10 years late to this game.
That's true.
Yeah.
Well, look, here...
Come on, stop making fucking excuses for a huge conglomerate company that owns IP out the ass to not make a good app and then have the fucking balls to charge you $7 a month or whatever they're fucking charging. I'm not paying.
Well, here, yeah, you should not pay for it. Shut the fuck up. Look, here's their first big test. The pilot first episode of their first original show, Titans.
Sure.
Right.
Came out last Friday. It will come out every Friday, once a week. I think there's like 10 episodes. And then at which point the next new show will start, and that'll run weekly. And then the next new show will start, and that'll run weekly.
Right.
So, having said that, first of all, how'd you guys watch this? Because there's still...
What do you mean? There's only one way to watch it.
Well, no. There's multiple ways, and there's not enough ways to watch it. For example, I
thought you were asking what through what streaming service. I'm like,
wanna know,
DC Universe.
Yeah, no, I want to know how you get to the DC Universe. This is what I did on my old ass Apple TV that I can't download the app on. I mirrored my iPhone, threw it up there, and it played great. It looked great, no problems. I kind of love that. Ruggs, how did you watch this? You said you had the Android
Smart TV.
You had the smart TV. You downloaded the app.
Android.
What kind of smart TV?
Android.
Oh, and you can download the app.
Yeah.
What's the brand of that television, though?
Sony.
Oh, Sony makes it the Android TV?
Yeah, I think if it's an Android TV, you can do it.
Oh, and then, Anthony, you watched it how?
Tried on Samsung TV, no dice.
Yeah.
Tried it on another TV that I have personally in my room. I forgot what brand it is. No fucking dice. Not available on either of those TVs nor on the apps.
Nope.
Had to go onto a desktop and watch it. So
okay. So desktop
Wasn't happy.
experience isn't the worst, but
but I'd rather be.
look, they need to get this shit on the
Not on the
Amazon
desktop.
Fire Stick or on the PlayStation, something. Put it some.
They need to get it
they
on
need to
all the fucking shit.
Yes, there needs to be more places. Hopefully they will.
That's even more egregious.
Well, but they may be rolling out more destinations soon.
Stop making excuses for them. God damn it, Imran.
I just bought stock in this company. Shut the fuck up. No, I didn't.
Yeah.
Look, we're in for 15 months. So what do you want me to say? I got this app. We're going to be watching it. Let's just give us our thoughts. Anthony, I think you watched this, the most recent pilot episode.
Yes, right before the show.
Right, just like you did with, what was the Iron Fist? You finished
Iron
that?
Fist,
Hey, this is
yeah.
what we do. We watch the thing, and immediately, here's my thoughts without processing. What'd you think?
Right. Oh man, I had negative expectations of this
going in. Yeah.
Yeah. The trailers did not fit what I was looking for, what I would expect a Titan show. Watching this, it's the first episode, so obviously you got to let it play out. I'm not gonna let it play out.
No.
I don't think I'm gonna watch any more episodes though. That already kind of tells you what I think. I think this show is unnecessarily violent.
A little bit.
It's like extremely violent.
It's very violent.
For a show about, they took out the teen
They're not
part,
teens.
but which is another stupid thing. Like, okay. But they took out the teen part, so it's just Titans. And I just can't get over the level of violence that's in this show and how immediately unlikable the leads are right off the bat.
Okay.
So I'll get into more of my thoughts later, but I'm interested to hear what you guys think.
Rugs.
I think it's a mediocre show. Mediocre. DC needed to come out the gate with a quality, like something you can't find on TV type of shit.
Yeah.
Other than a few F-bombs and the excessive violence, which I don't mind.
Yeah.
I don't mind violence because, let's be honest. Like, if you're really fucking beating people up.
Yeah, beat them
like
up.
Batman,
Yeah.
like, you're going to crack skulls.
Yeah.
Like, there's no two ways about it. They're just bringing a level of realism to it that's, Robin is unnecessarily violent.
I was just going to say, but are you going to drag someone's face
across the wall or broken glass?
or across a broken window on glass?
No. I was about to say that it's out of character for Robin.
Yeah, there you go.
But that kind of violence, I think, would probably happen if you were fighting a bunch of guys.
Yes.
In reality. So, with that said, like, DC had to come out the gate and bring you something that you can't get anywhere else. This is not, like, without the cursing and without the little excessive violence, this is just a regular Fox TV show.
Or CW. Yes. CW.
No, the CW doesn't go this far. Okay. But like a Fox show would.
Okay.
Like Gifted or something would go like this far.
Okay, yeah.
Or like even Gotham would go that far.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. Okay.
So it's nothing like production value wise. I think Gotham looks better.
Yeah.
In some respects. So production value, reverence to the actual characters, and these are a lot of these characters are in name only because none of them act like the characters they're supposed to act like.
This is their own version. This is
definitely their own Elseworlds version.
Yep.
And I think it's problematic because number one, you have the Teen Titans from the comic books.
Yeah.
And they're like kind of like they're teenagers, but they're kind of trying to become adults, and they're heroes, and the characters are kind of like more grounded in reality, right?
Yep.
Then you got the Teen Titans TV show, which is, and now the Teen Titans Go, which is like these completely like Starfire is like this ditz,
right?
And this idiot and this like whatever like goofy character,
right?
So now you got two characters that exist, and they're both, and this character they introduced is not either of those.
No, now you got a third character.
The Robin that they introduced is not either of those Robins. Like the Rob or whatever. So none of these characters, maybe Beast Boy is close. I don't know. And maybe Raven is, she's weird. I don't know.
She's a teen at least.
But it's just so far, I don't see, like, it's not what I've been waiting for. I'm like, comic books come to life. Like my comic book I love comes to life.
It's not
even the TV show that I love come to life.
Yeah.
Or it's not even the TV show of the TV show that's been made for kids that's really dumbed down come to life. It's none of those things.
It's not even the adult version of the kids' TV show that was made off of a mature content comic book based on a cartoon.
But whatever. I mean, you got to give it a chance to become something. Fine. But it just seems like it's really off the mark.
I thought it was better.
You loved it.
I didn't think it was as bad as I thought it was going to be. It was better than what I expected.
I didn't hate it. I just was just like, what is this?
I think it's a decent start. It's got potential. I'm hooked into some of the mystery that they've already put out there. I want to know what happens, but it's definitely its own thing.
Like Dick Grayson as a detective?
So yeah, there's a number of things. So look, it was okay. It was better than I thought, but there's still a lot of things that I'm like, I don't understand. There's a lot of questions, but it's only the first
Dick
episode.
Grayson doesn't need to do shit. He's like Bruce Wayne's ward. He just collects his check.
Let's start with that. Dick Grayson, Robin's been missing for like a month or a year.
Before we get into individual characters, let me chime in because I I really wanted to hear what you guys thought.
Yeah.
I'm not surprised what Imran thinks because Imran loves everything. We talked about hooks earlier and how like Iron Fist didn't have a hook.
Yeah.
This show already has a hook.
Yeah.
And I don't have a problem with violence when it is appropriate, but this is excessively violent for no particular reason.
Just because they
other than
can
to be violent.
Yeah,
it's just because it's like we're on our own thing now. We can do whatever we want.
And we're going to show up. We're going to say fuck.
So we're going to take full advantage of it with characters that
little kids watch.
Super kiddie. Like, what are we doing here? Like the first. I'm not even talking about Robin. I already alluded to Robin dragging people's faces against sharp and rough objects. But the first time you see death, the lady gets shot through the head. Okay, you see the blood splatter. You're like, oh, that's...
Dude, there's a lot.
That's aggressive.
Yeah.
Then they cut back to the dead lady with a pool of blood. It's like, come on. Like, what the fuck is this show? Right off the bat, too, fucking, what's her name? Starfire?
Starfire, yeah.
Has amnesia, apparently, but this character is so fucking cool that, like, she's interrogating people, but she doesn't know why, and then she gets information out of them and promises them something, and then kills them and laughs about it. Like, snaps a dude's neck. And it's like,
so you gotta
wait,
kill.
but you didn't know who he was. You just got some information out of him.
If they were smart, like, I don't have a problem with violence. I don't. It's just the wrong people doing it.
Right. That's
like,
my
have
point.
the bad guys be the violent people and have the heroes be a little bit more tempered, at least.
Yeah, I don't have a problem.
This is completely misguided.
I don't have a problem with like him throwing the Robin things and it like piercing people. That would happen. It's just, why are the heroes so unnecessarily brutal right off the start?
He's pissed.
Right.
Dick is
I mean, if the Joker
pissed.
was in this and he was hitting somebody with a crowbar and cracking their skull open, that makes sense. I mean, it gives you the brutality of the villains. It makes them seem more scary. But the reason that the heroes are doing this, I don't understand.
Well, he tried to explain it by saying, he's talking about his partner being Batman, and he's like, he got really. So if you think about it it's totally the Snyder universe. If you think about it in context of how brutal Batfleck was in Batman vs Superman, like that's how brutal this fucking Robin is. He's fucking breaking bones and scraping people's faces. I kind of love the Robin ninja stars. I thought that part was cool.
I think that's a thing in the comics, right? Doesn't he throw Robin?
Yeah, I think he's got a bunch of them.
They throw batarangs that have sharp edges on them, so it's fine.
But maybe, they didn't really sell. He's really fucking
So you want to
pissed.
go into Robin? Yeah, I mean, he's definitely. I mean, that's the thing too. Is this isn't Dick Grayson?
This is
like
you have to meet
Jason Todd, or
it is a lot like Jason Todd
or Damian Wayne.
Yeah.
I don't know what this like. What are they doing here?
I don't know. What do you? The guy Brenton Thwaites. He's gonna take a bit to grow on me. He's the guy playing him. He's okay.
And how old is like? I know that again. They took out teen.
Yeah.
But what is he? So we got what, a 25-year-old?
He's got to be in his
Robin?
late 20s. Yeah, he looks like he's in his late 20s.
The girl's got to be what, 14, 15?
Yeah.
And then
Raven's a teenager.
Starfire.
She's an adult, and
she's clearly an adult.
And then Beast Boy, we get to see a little bit of at the end.
And
he's like a
not to jump too much over to her, but I'm sorry. This has nothing to do with her fucking skin tone at all. She is dressed like a fucking prostitute.
Well, but because I think Jesus, there's so many things. I can defend Starfire because I liked how it seemed like this force had just it landed in her body, and she's woken up and she doesn't know what the fuck's going on. Like, she just is now inhabiting this body and is figuring things out. How does she know how to speak Russian and German and all those languages and fight? I don't really know. But
that's interesting.
But it's kind of like you're with her. She is surprising herself with these things. So you're learning like her.
But she's like a newborn, right? Basically.
Yeah, but change her outfit.
Yeah, but she's inhabited the body of this woman who is clearly like this escort person.
It's like a week passes and she's still in the same outfit.
I know. I think they're going to change her costume down the line.
They did. They're going to change it.
I actually think she's the most unlikable character because she wakes up in a new body.
Yeah.
And I mentioned before, she finds this guy in her closet, gets information out of him, promises him help, kills him.
Yeah.
Then she goes to this fucking club, sees these guys. Granted, they shoot at her first, but something takes over her. She burns them up.
Oh, that's
Instead of being horrified by it, she laughs and walks away.
Also,
like, how is that a likable hero?
I loved how everything burned except for the photo that she needed that was standing right behind her.
Yeah.
I
don't know, man. I mean, I don't think it's horrible. I'm just like, these decisions.
There was so much death in this movie.
weird.
You start with seeing the flying Graysons die, and then Raven's mother gets killed, and then Starfire is just killing people fucking left and right. I was like, man, there's a lot of fucking death already. There's like 6 motherfuckers you killed in this episode already. Also, it's dark in tone, but it's fucking dark in lighting. How about you open the iris up a little bit? I had trouble seeing what the fuck was going on. It's so dark. There's a blue filter over anything. That kind of annoyed me because I couldn't see shit. So I don't know why they do that.
It's the first episode,
Yes.
and I think that maybe there is probably going to be some course correction as they go along.
This is
but
Jeff Johns.
This is not a good move for Titans. It is not a good move for DC.
Do you trust
Universe
Greg
app.
Berlanti, Jeff Johns, and Akiva Goldsman? Because these are the guys doing this show.
I don't trust any director or anything when it has to do with DC. They just seem like I mean, Greg Berlanti's been doing great on the Arrowverse, but if you really want to analyze the Arrowverse, it's because there was nothing else on.
When it started, yeah.
That's the reason why it was successful. There was nothing else on, and now you've hooked a bunch of they had like a 3-year lead in.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So now you got all these people that are hooked onto these shows that can't get off of them.
Yeah.
And they're just riding it out.
That's me.
Like,
I'm one of those people.
yeah, once somebody starts watching a show for 3 years, it's hard for them to just drop it. Like, unless like something really terrible happens, like with Walking Dead with the Glenn thing.
Yeah.
Where it just like turns you off of the show. As long as they keep staying the course and delivering you the same bullshit.
Shit, you'll keep
you'll
showing
keep
up.
coming back. So all of those CW shows like beat everybody to the punch, and they have their homegrown audience. It's not going anywhere. Titans doesn't have that, and I don't know. I'm sure like the DC fanboys, the Snyderverse Fallout purists or whatever will lap this up, but
they're loving the brutal fucking Robin. But you know what?
I don't the violence doesn't bother me. I just think that how they use it, who's using it, like which characters are being violent, that's the problem. I think that, hey, if I'm gonna pay money for a fucking show that I can't see on regular TV, it better have all the stuff that you'd see on an HBO.
Yeah.
It better be like anything that you'd see on Game of Thrones. It should be up for grabs, you know? And I think that was cool about Star Trek Discovery. They had curses,
nudity,
they had sex scenes. Yeah, they
Yeah.
had all kinds of. So it was like, all right, like this is, you know, you're not going to see this anywhere else.
Let me piggyback on that, because this isn't, as we were kind of criticizing you, Imran, this isn't like the first streaming service that's releasing their own original content.
Right.
This is now
it's a
pretty
normal thing.
flooded landscape in terms of streaming services releasing original content.
Yeah.
So for your first episode, you better come out with a fucking bang, especially on a new app.
You got to bring it. Yeah.
You got to bring it. And I'm sorry, man, but all they're bringing is reveling in the violence, and for me, that's just not enough, especially with these characters.
It's so calculated and a false calculation because you're using Titans, which has an audience of kids that are watching Teen Titans Go, and they're thinking, "Hey, I want to watch Titans be real," and it's not going to port over properly.
No, it's not.
Like, and this is what you get for fucking with when you make products that are not canon, and then everybody thinks that that's the new normal and that's like the standard.
Yeah, it's
so you think everybody thinks that
now.
You fucking guys at DC, you guys made a show for kids, and now you've spoiled Titans forever.
Because you can't
can
make
never
it dark.
do Teen Titans like they were meant to be in the comic books again, because everybody's going to think they're trying to write the course, and they're knee jerking in the opposite direction too extreme, and that's what happens when you fucking muddle up the shit by releasing these. Oh, it doesn't matter. At least Batman Brave with the Bold came out, and no one thinks that that's the way Batman should be. Shut the fuck up. Like, if they made a Batman Brave and the Bold TV show live action, people would laugh it off the screen.
It's called Batman 66. It's pretty much what it is.
But when you make it live action, no.
I mean, this is a more serious, grounded take on this fucking Titans, but it does lose the whole thing about Teen Titans, where you're always like they're under the shadow of the main superheroes, and you know maybe there'll be appearances by the big guys, but these are
it
like
doesn't even really feel like a superhero show.
Not quite yet. Feels like a horror show and a mystery. I thought the girl playing Raven was good. I liked those parts. I like that kind of scary, spooky mystery. But There's a lot, like, these people are the worst detectives also in Detroit. Don't you think that Robin's been missing for a year and suddenly this guy Dick from Gotham shows up as a detective and then the fucking next day Robin shows up? You don't think you're going to at least ask him about, hey, you maybe know anything about this? Or put 2 and 2 together?
I mean, that's pretty cliche.
What the fuck? It is, yeah. So
the only shows that really feel like superhero shows is Supergirl and Flash. Yeah. All the other shows... I mean, maybe Arrow mixed in, but like all the other shows are like pale in comparison to like how purely superhero those shows are.
I would agree with that.
Everything else is trying to be something that it's not.
It's trying to
Supergirl
be. Supergirl
can't help but lean into being a superhero
because it's Supergirl.
It's Supergirl.
Yeah.
There's nothing else you can do.
Yeah.
Flash is very superhero.
Arrow, you could do different things.
Arrow is more Batman-y, vigilante.
Legends is very comic booky though.
Yeah, but they're doing Doctor Who Cares.
Mm-hmm.
So
that's a good point. That's accurate.
The other thing too about this show, again, I don't know if I'll keep watching it. I probably won't, but I think that's a very calculated risk they're doing by releasing it one by one each week. You have to bring it every episode to do it that way. Especially when you're asking for money each month.
But this is how most other streaming platforms aside from Netflix kind of do this now. Hulu does the same thing. Amazon
does it.
Amazon drops it all at once. Okay.
They just do, they just drop the whole season.
Well, or they'll do half seasons with like The Tick.
Which is cool.
6. Yeah, I'd rather them do the half. Like drop 6 and then
I'm not saying that's it's a bad idea. I'm saying you have to bring it.
Yeah, because you're coming back, you're trying to make this appointment television or
because that's what they're clearly not banking on all their content. You're banking on the fact that you want to watch some new episodes every week.
And then maybe you'll go and read some comic books and watch some of this old shit.
Some other stuff to fill in, and it'll be just part of your like Netflix, Amazon Prime, Hulu.
Yeah.
Apps.
Mix it in rotation.
They should just do like arcs at a time, like 4 episode arcs, and then let it, and then release one in every season.
Or you do like different shows. You do 4 episodes of this show, and then 4 episodes, and then go back and release 8 episodes. The next 8 episodes, maybe. I don't know. They're really like stretching this out. Yeah, they're
right,
just.
Let me say a couple of things I didn't hate.
Okay.
I'm curious to see what the fuck the amnesia is that she has.
Starfire? Yeah.
I'm curious to see how these characters get together, although they're already linking 3 of them.
Why do they need Raven?
Right. And then I'm curious to see why this Robin is so fucking angry. That's about it.
I'm curious to see.
And I'm curious to see who the big bad would be. And I don't know if that's been spoiled in casting or not, but.
Well, the whole thing with Raven is, her dad is that dude Trigon who's trying to like come through her. She's the portal. Like, is she actually the bad guy? Is they going to have a Trigon? I'm curious to see if Batman is going to be in the show at all or just a cameo or just mention. But I'm hooked with I want to know what the fuck's up with Starfire. And
I just sent the link to the new Starfire costume where she has straight hair and the different costumes.
Right. I saw this picture floating around, and so they straightened her hair and they got a little more of a jumpsuit purple.
Well, whatever.
A little more comics accurate. It's just I just
don't understand why they have her walking around in a fucking mink coat.
I like how her name is Corey Anders. That's clever because it's Coriander.
Oh, because the thing, remember, she wakes up in the car in the mink coat, and in the purple dress or whatever, right? Yeah. And she goes into the hotel and there's like long night.
Yeah.
So she's clearly been in this all night.
Yeah. Something happened the night before.
So then she finds the guy in the hotel. She beats him off with that costume. Beats him in that costume, not beats him off.
That would have been a better show.
That would have been goes to her hotel room where she was living at.
Right.
Yeah.
Where her other clothes were.
But then she goes back out to the club at night, still wearing those clothes. I'm just like, what? What?
Look, if you're
double down on that.
But if you're like an alien who's like stuck in a human body, you don't know. You're just like,
but she knows to do all this other stuff.
I know, she really does know. So there's that key also. So I'm wondering what that key is for.
I don't know.
I'm curious to see where it goes.
It seems very.
Where is he taking Rachel at the end of the show? Where's the safe place? We're going to meet more people. Next episode is Hawk and Dove get introduced. So you are going to get more characters.
I've already seen the previews for Hawk and Dove.
Yeah.
In their fucking
and everyone
should not be violent. Hawk should be violent, but not Dove.
We'll meet Jason Todd, and he's like the nicest guy on the show. He just
So how long is this show?
I think it's 10 episodes.
10 episodes. So 10 weeks.
10 weeks, and they're going to split off. Doom Patrol will spin off out of this.
I have to believe that people aren't like...
It's 12
they're
episodes.
Not this,
Sorry,
that
it's
stupid.
12.
So
I'm predicting that this app is going to fail miserably.
Yeah, we'll see if they
I wouldn't
can.
be surprised.
Like, who is really like chomping at the bit for Doom Patrol? Even though people like Doom Patrol,
Yeah.
like the mainstream audience, not going to give a fuck about it.
Well, it's all going to be predicated on their appearance in this show, and if people like it. It's surprising that they already, like, without releasing the show, they're like, oh, we're spinning
then
this
there's
off.
Swamp Thing, and that Swamp Thing's been out. They've been done like 3 times.
It's always
They've been
hard.
done as a movie
Yeah,
and then
a
2 series. I
And none
believe.
of this stuff has been tested, and they have all these plans. So this is going to be interesting to see
interesting
how
for
it
sure.
plays out for them.
I'm
and
not
they're never
impressed
going
with
to do
that.
it as well as you think they could do it.
So you guys think the app is garbage, and this is
I'm not saying it's garbage.
Yeah.
I'm just saying there's not a lot there.
Yeah.
I just think that if they're coming out the gate against like a ginormous titan like Netflix and all these other things that have great shit on there, and that's all they have is their characters, and that's it.
I mean, it'll be interesting to see.
They don't even have all the Batman movies. Like, what are they?
No, it's weird.
What are they
have
doing?
like weird, like they have Dark Knight and Batman Begins, but not Dark Knight Rises, and they have some of the. I don't know. I don't understand how they picked what they put on there.
They didn't put any of the Tim Burton Batmans on here.
Oh, the first one's on there.
Is it?
Yeah, Batman. I remember seeing it on Batman.
I don't
Day.
see it on
They
here.
may have taken it off for all I know.
I don't. Oh wait, let me see.
But
no, it's not on here.
Wow, because I believe it was there when it launched on Batman Day.
Yeah, it was there for like 2 weeks.
And
And
then
it's
they
gone.
just so they rotated out.
Give me
So
the
I don't know
fucking
what
break.
they're doing. If they're, if they have data they're working with that says, we should keep changing this.
I don't know. It's a strange play.
This is very. I mean, you got to know Disney's like watching this. It'll be interesting to see how they launch their streaming service.
I'm very curious to see if they're not necessarily trying to compete, but if they're like, there's enough hardcore DC fans that can get this for it that will be profitable. Like maybe they just want like 100,000 subscribers.
There might be like they can't expect huge numbers
Because the way it is set up right now is doomed to fail if they're looking to be mainstream.
I mean, how many subscribers do they need for this to work for them? We don't know.
All you know is that Disney now is way better than this app. There's way more stuff to watch. And,
way better.
Yeah.
Already.
On the existing Disney app before they even put
free
up
Disney
the free
Now app.
Disney Now app.
I can watch all episodes of not all, but like the current season of Spider-Man, all the Avengers cartoons, all that stuff, any of the movies that come out on the Disney Channel for kids.
But imagine this Disney streaming app with all the MCU movies.
I'm not an expert on the streaming stuff by any means, but I remember reading when the WWE did their app.
Yeah.
That
their
for
network.
them to get profitable, they needed 1 million subscribers.
1 million subscribers.
And it took them a while to get to 1 million, but they finally got there.
There is always.
I don't know if there's 1 million people that are going to buy
you think
this
there's a
app.
million hardcore DC fans?
Because the WWE app has like all the old, like you can watch everything. Like this, you can't even read all the comics nor watch all the content they've ever put out.
And it is odd is that there's stuff for kids and now there's like stuff for like adults.
I mean, that doesn't necessarily bother. Like, you can do both.
Yeah.
It's a weird choice to make Titans your flagship show to start off and make it
Completely unlike the comic, completely unlike the cartoon, and completely unlike anything.
No, it's very strange.
It's like Batman versus Superman. I mean, I'm hoping.
I mean, it's more violent.
It's more violent than that, which is insane.
Again, I don't have a problem. Like when Daredevil came out, Daredevil was pretty violent.
Yeah.
I mean, not this reveling in the violence like this, but Daredevil had some violent shit. Head being cut off with a car door.
Oh, yeah.
Dude getting his own eye out with a fence. But like, I don't know, man. This is I wasn't uncomfortable. I was just like, this is. They're loving
it.
The
Was
violence.
borderline uncomfortable, and I gotta admit, I did chuckle at the "fuck Batman" line because it came off kind of laughable. It's just like a chuckle came out.
Where's Batman? I mean, that was funny when like Robin comes and they're all looking up in the
Birdie's
sky.
by himself, and he's like, "What?" And he's like, "What the fuck? These people aren't even looking at me. They think Batman's here." Fuck Batman. I was like, I laughed. I was like, oops, chuckle came out. That's kind of funny.
Besides you, I would be curious to see like someone that really enjoyed this and what they would say about it.
Oh, there's going to be definitely apologists for
There's
this.
going to be its fans, and I mean,
look, I'm going hard at it because I'm telling you, it's nothing like I mean, Starfire in the comics is a much more is not a ditz and not like the Teen Titans Go, which is why I hate it because everybody likes Teen Titans Go. They think that Starfire is this ditzy
That's
like
not
little
Starfire.
No, she's this fucking huge, fucking powerful woman. Okay, I mean she's completely different. That's all I'm saying is that she's not what it is on. She's neither of these things that she is in its previous incarnation.
The whole beginning of this, also, I thought it reminded me of like a really dark Greatest Showman with the tents and the circus. It's just a weird, it was a weird thing having just watched Greatest Showman and then watching this. I'm like, oh, this is a lot different.
I mean, I'm hoping that it's great, but from what I've seen with Hawk and Dove, of Dove like being kicking, I think Dove should be more of a defensive fighter and use things against it. Like, they don't even think about that. I don't know. Maybe they did. I don't know. I'm judging it before I saw it. But
I'm just excited to see more characters. Like Jason Todd's going to be in this. You know, we're going to see Hawk and Dove and all those guys. So I'm wondering who else is going to be in the back half of this that they aren't telling us what other characters, and when they become a team, who are they fighting? Who is the bad guy? So I don't know. I'm going to watch it.
Of course
I'm watching all the other shit too.
What do you mean all the other shit? They're only releasing one show at a time.
I'm talking about all the superhero and shows that have come back.
Oh, you are?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, Imran. You gonna do weekly page?
I don't know. I was thinking of maybe every so often. I don't know if I can keep up. But first of all, so Flash came back. It's kind of fun. Arrow came back. This is very interesting. He's in prison. There's a scene where he's fighting people in the shower naked. He's got to fight these motherfuckers off. It's kind of brutal. And Black Lightning is a fucking great show. That came back. Best music on a superhero show. They'll play like Redemption Song, Bob Marley, Curtis Mayfield, and then like jazz during fight scenes. Oh, it's fucking great. Now, Walking Dead, 2 episodes in. This show currently has the lowest viewers it's ever had. It is season 1 numbers. This show that used to pull in 20 million viewers, it's making under 5 million viewers every episode. So that show's definitely done. But it's a little bit better. It's like a restart. It's clearly Scott Gimple. It is too late. It's sad.
Too late.
Because you could tell it's not Scott Gimple. They're not trolling the audience as much. They're doing some interesting things, but it may be too late for the show. Nobody's watching. Nobody came back.
Too late.
Yeah. So that's what's going on. Anyways, any other thoughts? Anything else?
I mean, if you tell me there's like it gets better, maybe I'll put it on
I'll let
again.
you know if it gets
I'm
better.
just pumped for Daredevil, and that's it.
Yeah, I'm more prepared for Daredevil.
I'm like ready for Daredevil. I'm good with that. I think that isn't She-Ra supposed to be coming out soon?
Oh yeah, there was a trailer for the Netflix She-Ra.
So I'm gonna watch that.
I think Daredevil season 3 is gonna make up for a lot of these fucking shitty shows and just be fucking awesome.
I'm excited for that.
I would really like to see a amazingly done show.
Yeah,
a show that.
Well, Game of Thrones will be back soon. 6 months.
I would like to see, someone make a show.
Yeah.
Let's make an 8-episode show, like the first season of Stranger Things.
Okay.
All right. And let's pour a shitload of money into it. I just watched Altered Carbon, huge budget.
Yeah.
Awesome effects, direction, everything. And then it's gone. It's like it goes away. You never it didn't exist.
They're making another season.
Then they had the one with Will Robinson. What's his name?
Lost in Space.
That was a fucking amazingly expensive looking show.
I like that season.
And I was dazzled by how much money they threw at the fucking screen.
Yeah.
And then you don't hear about that anymore.
No.
But I want something like that in the comic book genre.
It's gonna be Daredevil
that
season
really takes the superhero and brings it to life. Not in pulling back punches and let's tell boring ass story. Let's fucking see it happen. Let's in the Marvel movies.
What about The Watchmen on HBO? Does that have potential for what you're looking for?
It's going to be a talk fest. It's going to be a talk fest. I have a feeling.
What gets me excited for Daredevil season 3 is I read that interview with the showrunner who did Arrow. I don't know what his name is.
Eric Olson or something.
Eric Olson, but he was like, I want to make something that's like The Sopranos.
Yes.
These esteemed shows. And I was like, all right, man. he's got high goals. Now, will he hit it? I don't know.
He wants
but
to.
He's aiming high.
He's treating it as premium television, which is, I think, the phrase he used, like Game of Thrones, like Sopranos. And he's coming in with that mindset, and he said,
Game of Thrones is set the bar for cinematic level visuals and cinematic level like quality.
But you need $10 to $15 million an episode.
Doesn't matter. Just make 8 episodes.
That's true.
Game of Thrones made it 6 episodes, right?
This one is going to be 6.
Well, they also did a good job making like an amazing ensemble cast. I remember watching the live orchestra, and they would show the characters on the screen prior to the show starting, and you would like have people would be like, "Oh, that's blah, blah, blah." And I was like, "Holy crap!" They just showed the picture of like at least 20 people that I care about on that show. I'm like, "Holy crap, that's amazing!"
Yeah.
So think about Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
Lord of the Rings are 3-hour movies each one.
Yeah.
Right? And there's 3 of them. That's 9 hours. If I could do math correctly.
Yeah, but you just fast forward through the parts where they're walking. That's a good movie.
No, but I'm saying, but they tell an epic story.
They do. You need
with
that
characters
time.
that are completely developed.
Yes.
And effects and all of these grand battles. So all you need is 9 hours to tell a huge story.
It's another thing Eric Olson says in that interview. He's heard the critiques about how, there's these filler episodes because they were contractually obligated for 13 episodes. And he's like, I've heard all this and I'm taking care of it. I'm not going to do that. Like, I'm so psyched for this season because I think this is going to be like their best season of superhero
Just tell
television.
one main story.
This Daredevil season 3 could be exactly what you were just described, what you want.
I doubt it.
No, I think it's going to be close.
I think it's going to be a great season. So you think that Daredevil is going to all of a sudden become something that it's not? It's just going to be like Daredevil.
Yeah, but
it's going to be Daredevil. It's going to be hopefully a good season of Daredevil.
All right, you don't think it'll be?
I don't think it's going to become a completely different show.
No.
I think what I'm talking about is completely different than what Daredevil is.
Maybe they should do, what was that DC comedy? Bring that back for a second season. The one I watched every episode of and
Powerless.
and never laughed once.
Fucking
even when
pointless.
I was lit.
I can't get Powerless on this app. I'm out.
Oh, how come there's no Powerless? DC Universe? Where's that show? You clearly aren't doing anything with it. You got Birds of Prey. Throw fucking Powerless
Oh
up
my
there.
god, I threw on that Birds of Prey.
Batman is in that show, Ruggs,
God.
right? Batman's in Birds of Prey.
Yeah, he's in it.
Just watch.
Oh god, I threw that show on. I was like, oh my goodness.
Find the episode.
How far
with
did you
Batman.
last?
I was 10-15 minutes in the first episode. I'm like, no.
You gotta get into the second episode.
Oh,
Second episode.
Early 2000s
It's bad.
superheroes on TV. That's just a recipe for disaster.
Right. It's like Buffy the Vampire Slayer, basically with Huntress.
They're not as good. Not as well written.
No, not as well written.
Anyways, Titans, look, every Friday I'll be there. Let you know if it gets any better. What are you going to do?
It might.
It might get better.
It might get better.
It might, but I feel like it's already missed the mark. Like I feel like that they're gonna have to steer it back, and pedal it in a different direction.
Exactly. It's an okay start. It's got potential, but you're exactly right, Ruggs. They need to steer this back into someplace good.
Like when Supergirl came out, it had problems,
Right.
And by the second season, they straightened out all those problems.
Yep.
So
the danger here, though, is that, a Supergirl they put out while it's on air and you work on the first half, you can work on it. Doing it this way, this is all done. So they can't really, until the next season, they won't be able to fix anything because it's done. It's on film. So I don't know. Putting this out 1 week at a time with no reaction or no kind of focus grouping. Maybe they did. I don't know. Hopefully it gets better.
I don't know. I mean,
Hopefully
it's weird.
It gets better.
I know it's like, I'm not dumb to the point where I don't understand. I understand that these shows are hard to make, and I know that it's hard to get all this stuff to coalesce, and it's just a Herculean task. But there are people that are doing it, and Marvel's been doing it, knocking it out of the park with every movie. TV shows not so much, but at least it's got Daredevil
on television. Yeah.
At least it's got Daredevil, and it seems to do well with that. So I don't know.
Anthony, have you tried reading comics on that app yet?
No, I haven't.
No, it's pretty good actually.
It's kind of fun.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not opposed to doing it. It's just I've never really read a comic online.
It's kind of it works. It's fun.
Yeah, I'm sure it's fine. I don't have a problem with
I
that.
don't mind it.
I think that's one of the things that distinguishes it from every other thing that's out there.
Yeah, and
is that they
Marvel
have comics
now
on
has
it.
comics on it as well.
Marvel Now. That's just the comics, though.
I mean, Disney now.
Disney has comics on it too.
I think it does. Has motion comics. Yeah.
That's not the same.
All right.
Anyways, moving on.
That's not a shame.
Felty League update, Anthony. You got one?
Oh shit! Let me pull up the app.
Right.
Put the filler music in.
Here's the National Felty League update.
Nice. All right, let's do the standings this week. On the Marvel score division, Felty Falcons led by Roberto Rivera and OJ's Pro Board led by Chaz Hubbard, both 5-1.
Ooh.
On the DC Universe side, Hazelnuts led by Chris Williams and Game of Thrones led by Matthew Lawrence are both 4-2. So those are your division leaders. I am currently 1-5.
1-5.
I'm awful.
Well, I'm glad you're not winning. You should win this fucking thing because you're it's part of the show. Let the listeners.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
So if you've purposely sabotaged yourselves, I thank you.
No, I haven't. I just suck.
Awesome. I hope everyone is enjoying the Felty League. You will get, what's the prize? A t-shirt? I said I'll give you a t-shirt. I'll give the winner a t-shirt.
Okay,
that's about it. Anything else,
That's
guys?
a good prize.
That's a good prize. It's something to actually care about and pay attention. Ruggs, where can the people find you online? You got anything exciting going on?
I did something. The funniest thing that I did on Twitter was I, for some reason, decided to contact UPS.
Okay.
And ask them if they could deliver me from Evil.
Oh, I saw that one.
And they responded.
Talking nerd. They did it?
They did.
What'd they say?
They said, that's pretty deep.
Can you deliver at UPS? Can you deliver me
So
from
follow
Evil?
me for fun comments like that at Really Rug Boy on Twitter.
Great dad humor. He's also in the Facebook group Jock and Nerd Nation. Anthony, final comments. Wrap it up for us. Something
tell a
profound. Oh, that's profound. Tell a friend. Share the show.
Spread the geekery. You're listening to the Jock and Nerd podcast.
My name is Imran.
My name's Anthony.
He's the Jock.
He's the
We'll
nerd.
peep you next time.
Now go fuck Batman.
Fuck Batman.
That's a pretty good fuck Batman.
Yes. I see that you know your judo well.
Did you really like that, Imran?
Jock and Nerd. Yes.
Of course.